A wise and successful man bought a beautiful house with a huge orchard, but not over happy for him. An envious man lived in the old house next to him. He constantly tried to make his fellow neighbors stay in the beautiful house as miserable as possible. He threw garbage under his gate and made other nasty things. One fine day, the wise man woke up in a good mood and went into the porch to notice buckets of garbage thrown there. The man took a bucket, cleaned his porch. He carried the bucket and went to knock his envious neighbor's door. The envious neighbors heard the knock at his door and gleefully thought, "I finally got him." He answered his door, ready to quarrel with his successful neighbor. However, the wise man gave him a bucket of freshly picked apples, saying, "The one who is rich in something says it with others." Adam is a young man. He is going to turn 20 this month. But last week, he was caught in adultery after theft. The jury decided to condemn this crime, and he could be executed for it. On the day of execution, Adam expressed his desire to see his mother one last time. He asked to speak with her before he led to execution, and of course, he was granted. Everyone thought that he missed his mother and wanted to bid her his last farewell. When his mother came to him, he said, "I want to whisper to you," and asked her to come closer. When she brought her ear near him, he nearly beat it off. All the bystanders were horrified. They asked him why he could do such brutal and inhuman behaviors like that. To their question, he shouted out, "It is to punish her. When I was young, I began with stealing little things. Then I brought them home to my mother. Instead of punishing me, she just laughed and said, 'Nobody will know about it. I am here today because of her.'" The priest watched everything and told the woman, "He is right, woman. Train up the child in the way he should go. When he is old, he will not depart therefrom." Nate and Mark were friends. They started to hang out with each other when they were in high school. In the summer, they decided to go on a trip for their holiday. They drove their way straight to the forest outside the town. Upon arriving, they went for a walk into a forest to enjoy the beauty of nature. Suddenly, they saw a bear. It was slowly coming at them with anger on its face. They began frightened and got their hair stood out the back of the neck. Mike knew all about climbing trees. He ran up to a tree and climbed up quickly at once. He didn't think of Nate. Nate had no idea how to climb the tree. Nate thought for a second. He heard the animals like bear dump for dead bodies, so he fell to the ground and held his breath. The bear came closer to Nate's anxiety and nervousness, but it just sniffed him and thought he was dead. Therefore, it went on its way. After a while, Mike sighed in relief and got off the tree. He approached and asked Nate, "What did the bear whisper into your ears?" With an expression of despise on his face, Nate replied, "The bear taught me that a friend in need is a friend indeed. He asked me to keep away from friends like you." The original Olympics were first held by the Greeks more than 2,400 years ago. It was a very big and popular event, but the Roman king stopped the games. The first modern Olympic Games started again 1,500 years later. They were held in Athens in 1896. The games were to promote peace by using sports. The first few Olympics were not very popular. The Olympics were not well known, so the athletes were not properly trained. Some athletes of the first modern Olympics were tourists that were passing by the stadium. Just as the games were getting popular, World War I broke out. because of this, the games were not held. In fact, the modern games did not take place 3 times due to the world wars. Although the Olympics were not about money, host countries spent a lot of money. These were very wide companies were allowed to advertise in the event. This made the Olympics a much larger event than before. Today's class is about special museums. What special museums have you heard of? I have heard of the Theodore Roosevelt Museum. The museum is in the house where the president was born. There are things that Roosevelt used and lots of the photographs of the Roosevelt family. The highlight of the museum is a book with a bullet hole. That's unusual. How did you get there? Someone tried to shoot Roosevelt. He was on his way to give a speech and the person shot him. Roosevelt was carrying a book with a speech and the bullet hit the book. Roosevelt was hurt but not badly. He did not go to the hospital and just give the speech. That's strange. If you were shot, wouldn't you want to go to the hospital? Yes, but Roosevelt didn't, and I'm not sure why. I know why. Roosevelt remembered President McKinley getting shot a few years back. The doctors made a mistake and he died. Roosevelt decided that hospitals were more dangerous than bullets. Anyway, Roosevelt survived. The book that saved his life is on display at the museum. During the early 1900s, blacks in America suffered a lot from white people. Blacks also have a very tough time from the government. Because of this, 2 famous black Americans started an organization called the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers had guns and trained members to fight like soldiers. They trained to protect themselves. They told black people to stand up and fight like soldiers and fight. The Black Panthers also told all the black Americans that they were equal to white Americans. The government did not like the group, and they did not want black Americans to have power. The Black Panthers also helped black society. Most blacks during that time were poor, so they opened kitchens to feed breakfast to over 10,000 children every day. They also had newspapers to share news about the black community. The government did many things. They tried and stopped the group. In fact, they tried the group confused to giving the wild. They tried the group confused by giving wrong information to other people. The government have many famous leaders killed. There are many different types of sports in the world. There are some popular sports like soccer and tennis, but they are not popular in North America. North Americans prefer to watch other kinds of sports, such as American football and ice hockey. American football uses a ball that looks like a rugby ball. There are 11 players on each team, and all players wear special protective clothes. The most important player on the team is the quarterback. The quarterback throws the ball to a receiver or runner who catches the ball and runs to the goal area. On the other hand, ice hockey is played by many Canadians and Americans. Ice hockey uses a flat puck as a ball. There are 6 players on each team. The players wear safety gloves and skates. They can only use their sticks to move the puck. A long time ago, there was no worldwide event for skaters and BMX riders. Then, a television channel called the ESPN decided to make a sport show, the X Games. The X Games was made for younger viewers. The games first skaters, and BMX riders, and inline skaters as athletes. The show immediately drew a lot of attention. More people wanted to be part of the games. Even people who did not skate or ride bicycles also enjoyed watching the show. The X Games grew very quickly, and it was a favorite show among younger people all over the world. The show added more events such as rock and ice climbing. The Winter X Games was also added to feature snowboarding and other winter events.